Today's apologist claim: science makes mistakes and therefore can't be trusted. Scientific explanations are always conditional and subject to change based on the evidence from new discoveries, which means that what you thought was accurate yesterday may be different today. To non-scientists, that may seem wishy-washy and weak. Claims should be made with confident certainty in order to be trusted and believable, and scientists shouldn't make claims unless they are absolutely certain about their explanations. But in reality, that lack of absolute certainty is exactly what makes the scientific method so powerful and what sets it apart from dogmatic sources of information, like most religions. In simple terms, this is how the process for confirming a scientific explanation works. The explanation, called a hypothesis, must make testable predictions that could potentially prove the claim false. That's called falsifiability. Without it, there is no way to prove the claim is wrong, and there's no way to distinguish it from any other contrary claim that also can't be falsified. So, unfalsifiable claims are not scientific, and thus must be either discarded or changed to make them falsifiable. Once you have falsifiable predictions, they must be tested. The results may then warrant being peer-reviewed for publication in a reputable science journal. If the evidence supports the predictions of the hypothesis, other scientists can then test it for themselves by repeating the experiments to verify the results, which then increases our confidence in the accuracy of the explanation. Given enough confirming evidence that has been repeatedly tested by multiple sources, the hypothesis may graduate to a full-blown theory, which is the highest level of certainty in science. However, at no time is a hypothesis or theory ever considered proven true beyond all question. Again, that's because scientific explanations are always conditional and subject to change based on the evidence from new discoveries, and that has the potential to change everything we know about something. Even entire theories, no matter how well supported, can be changed or even overthrown by better evidence that comes along. That means when a scientific explanation is right, its confirmation tends to only get stronger over time, and when an explanation is wrong, the error can be exposed and corrected. Thus, science is self-correcting, improving with each new piece of evidence discovered. Religions, particularly fundamentalist religions, don't work that way. They base their beliefs on faith rather than evidence, which is pretty much worthless because there is essentially nothing that cannot be believed based on faith. Faith allows people to cling to their beliefs even in the face of contrary evidence. It allows them to deny, ignore, or creatively reinterpret evidence to fit their faith. And religions generally do everything possible to eliminate any tests that can falsify their doctrine, which means they have no credible way to demonstrate that their claims are based on anything real. So all religions can do is confidently assert that only they have the truth, which is provided to them by a divine source that is not to be questioned, no matter what. And they usually use promises of rewards and threats to keep their followers in line. This encourages an us versus them tribal mentality among believers. Challenges to their faith become something to be overcome rather than something to be explored and seriously evaluated. For this reason, many believers see scientific explanations that contradict their religious beliefs as faith-based rivals pushing an atheistic agenda. But that's not how scientific explanations work. Science isn't wedded to any predetermined explanations the way religions typically are. Creating a hypothesis is ultimately about finding the answer to a question, not about being right or wrong. It's a process, not a declaration of truth, which means that even finding out your hypothesis is wrong is still useful, because it narrows down the potential options in pursuit of the true explanation, and it helps formulate the next hypothesis. Of course, science isn't perfect. Scientists are human, and humans sometimes make mistakes. There are even bad scientists who cling to pet hypotheses that they will defend even in the face of falsifying evidence. Some will even fudge data or go so far as to fabricate hoaxes. But that's why there is the reproducibility requirement of the scientific method. If the relevant scientific community tries and fails to reproduce the results of a study by someone trying to hide bad data or a hoax, that person can be exposed with likely career-ending consequences. So what happens when there are multiple good but conflicting scientific claims? That can happen due to variations in how studies are conducted. It usually means there need to be more studies to figure out the causes of the discrepancies and improve the conclusions, like how recommendations change over time during an epidemic as more information becomes available. What all this doesn't mean is that science can't be trusted. Science changes because the scientific method constantly corrects and improves our knowledge, and that is its strength, not its weakness. For this reason, science is far more trustworthy than confident claims that are based on faith or non-credible evidence. It's a far greater mistake to seek answers through pseudoscience, conspiracy theories, or religions, because those are almost guaranteed to badly misinform you, no matter how confidently they may be presented. That's why there are thousands of religions out there, but just one basic scientific method.